Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to this 55th episode of the Nata PR School podcast. The Nata PR model. I want to go back to this tool that we use really every day at the agency. If you've been listening to this podcast, for you, our loyal listeners who have listened to the podcast every week, you've probably heard me talk about our 6-step model. If you go back to between, I would say, podcast number 1 to 10, I really have all these 6 steps, not one after the other, but in between you have one part of the model that I really explain in depth. And you'll see the difference between then and now. I have 55 now. It's my 55th podcast. So obviously I'm more comfortable talking to you and explaining what I have in my mind, talking on the microphone. It's like anything else. The more you do it, then you become better. Some people are like probably natural and are good from the beginning, but I feel I'm way better than I was a year ago. But if you want to go back, you can, because I will not explain each of these 6 steps in this episode. I just want to bring back the model and talk to you about it because it's really what I'm going to be teaching in our next trainings. They're around the corner. So at the end of September, I don't know when you'll be listening to this podcast, but our next course, we will have other courses in the year, but very few. For one very simple reason, it's just that I'm full-time managing our own PR agency, so I don't have the time to teach full-time, maybe in a few years, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that for many, many years. So don't miss our next trainings. Why? Because I'm going to be helping you so much, especially if you're new or you're launching a new product or you've been around for a while and you know you're missing pieces in the puzzle. I know what's missing in your puzzle. I've been around for so long, and we do that every day helping companies at the agency. We have like about 30 ongoing clients, so I know. The agency is 20 years. I've been around for 30 years, so I know a thing or two on how to get known. And I want to talk about the Nata PR model. Maybe you have it. If you don't, let me know. I'll send it. Really, I give it for free to anyone who wants to have a look at it and try to use it to create a PR or even like an influence campaign or your ongoing campaign. You want to reach out to bloggers. That's a perfect tool just to create a first campaign. And this is why I decided to talk about it today, because if you don't have it, let me know, I'll send it to you. Normally, we're having issues with our website right now. But you can, if you subscribe on our website, you will receive it for free, obviously in exchange of your email. And so if you're now on our list, when you do that, you are on our list and I can really send you information. So you'll receive information. Up to you to stay on our list or not. Obviously, you can unsubscribe anytime you want. And I'll send you information about, what we're doing, podcast. We have free trainings also during the year, like free webinars. There's one going on and almost every week on influencers. So if you are on our list, you will know and find out when these trainings are happening. All this to say that I'm going back to the Nata PR model because we use it every day. I even used it a few days ago with a new client that came to us, and I wanted to know who they were and really more understand what they were looking for. And my first question is always the number one in our model. The first question, which is, why do you think an influencer or a journalist would be interested by your service or your product? Why do you think they would want to write an article about you? Then it's interesting to see what the answer is. We use it all the time. So that's number one. And we also first created this model, my God, almost 10 years ago, to explain what we do. PR is something really not tangible. It's not a physical product. So for many people, public relations is really hard. And even an influence campaign is hard to understand. What is it exactly? It's a bit like selling the wind because of that, because it's hard to demonstrate, almost impossible. When we talk about, this is the articles they might be writing, these are the blogs you might see written on your product or your service, what's in unboxing, how it's going to be done, and really hard to predict. We know because we have so much past experience, we have a good idea of what we will be generating, but it's never the same. Everything is changing, and we are, in a sense, really the opposite of advertising. Why? Because when you decide to, let's say, do a Facebook ad campaign, paid campaign, you can decide on the image, you decide on the text, on the title, you decide on the frequency, how much money you're going to spend, but it's costing you money. That's the huge difference. So PR is more, we have this power of influence, and we propose to journalists or influencers your product. Then, we send them, we have different tools, so we send them content, and they're free to use it or not. So we have kind of a power of influence, right? So we offer up stories and products, and then the journalist can decide to talk about it or not. Or the other thing too is when you start an ad campaign or you decide to buy a page in a newspaper or a magazine, you know exactly when, and you can decide, I want to be on the right, on the left, So you can decide where you're going to be, where your ad's going to end and where it's going to be. In public relation, this is not the way it works. You never know exactly when. Sometimes we have a good idea, obviously, but it's a moving world, especially now we're still going through this pandemic. So we know that nothing is for sure and everything is changing. So it's the same thing with PR. But let's go back to the image of the wind, because I like it very much. And I like to say that what we do is very similar. But you know that it's crucial to any sailboat. Wind, you need the wind. It's essential. It's probably way more essential than we think, even in nature. So if you have a sailboat, you understand what I'm talking about. So the Nata model explains every steps in creating this wind. And this is that wind that will bring clients right to your website or in store. So wind is essential. And it's very different in publicity. It's like it's raining, so you need to buy an umbrella or a raincoat. PR is more like you have this wind, it's not cold yet. Then after 2-3 days, you might need a little sweater. You need to put on a sweater. It takes more time sometimes, but most of the time. So just like advertising campaigns, also know that PR campaigns or influence campaigns have a beginning and an end. So let's go back to the Nata PR model, because this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. And why? Because it's the core of what we are teaching. I want you to join and don't miss our next training starting at the end of September this time. We'll have maybe 2 or 3 during the year, not many, because as I told you, I'm managing a PR agency full-time. And this is my fun. So this is where you can work with me. I'll be teaching you all step of the way on how to create a successful PR and influencer campaign, how to really get known, increase your visibility online, and you will increase your sales. This is what we do in our daily work. So I have so many things I can share with you. And know that, let's go back to my model. Now that our model is 6 steps to create a successful campaign. So what are these steps? The first one is, as I just mentioned, is ask this question and answer. Find 2, 3, 4 reasons why media would talk about you. Then number 2, we tell your story. We have our own way of doing that. We have our own techniques. It can be super simple. You don't have to be a top writer to do that. So I teach you that. Then we identify the real influencers. That's step number 3. Step number 4, give them the necessary resources, the tools they need. Number 5, we always measure. Number 6, this is a step that I love, follow up the reminders. As I say, it's not because you've written this amazing press release with amazing content, unless you're a superstar, then you will attract the attention. If you're U2 launching a new CD, you don't have to work very hard to attract the attention. But if you're not known, you have this amazing new product, nobody knows about you. When you send your press release, bloggers, influencers, or journalists are not expecting it. So it takes time. You have to be patient. And maybe humble a little bit, even if you're launching the best product in the world. If they don't know you, it's going to take time. But this is what we love. You can really put your creativity to work at every step. Why do you think they will be talking about you? That's sometimes working on a title of a press release. What's going to be written about you? Then how we tell your story. So it's super creative. This is what I love when we have new employees coming to work with us. If they have studied marketing or communications and they realize and discover that PR can be highly creative. And this is where we have the most fun, really. And they love that. Many of them are really amazed by that. Yes, of course, we have all these techniques, things that we repeat. It's like we are kind of musicians playing scales every day, but we can be really highly creative. And then I teach you another techniques too. So it's to look at the trends, what media are talking about, so how we do that, where we look. I'll teach you really our best tools, our best secrets, how we work. And the Nata PR model that we're talking about today is really the backbone of our public relation campaign. It's really at the base of all our actions, and it's really a super effective guide for understanding and creating campaigns. And each step, as you can imagine, can be expanded as much as you want depending on the resources you have. Because this is the beauty of it, because this model works equally, it's equally effective with multinational that we work for than you who created your company yesterday online, really. These are the same steps. The huge difference is the resources we put behind each of these steps. At the agency, obviously, we're many people and we can share the work, so we have more people working on different accounts, or we can simply reach out to more people. It's human time right there. But I teach you during the cohort how to be super effective and select, choose your battle and be able to, even if you're alone, solopreneur, one-man army, one-woman army, I can teach you how to generate results that are going to be working and helping you increase your visibility. And you can really use this model to make yourself known or a product known. So don't miss our trainings. Really, our upcoming groups are going to be amazing and so much fun. This is something I love, and it's kind of fun for me to do. So every week for 12 weeks, we'll be working together. So it's a 3-month program. It seems long, but it's not, because so we spend an hour, a lunch hour for my North American friend, and for you, my European friends, it's at noon. So depending where you are, it's 5 p.m., 6 p.m., but there are small groups, answer any questions you have. So you'll have a video to watch before the class, and you come with what you need, and we work we create exactly what you need. And it's super efficient. I have amazing, amazing testimony. People love doing that, and it's fun and effective. So it's money well spent, because you'll have access to a top PR agency like Nata PR. And I have over more than 30 years of experience, so I've seen it all. And I'm really, really hands-on in what's happening online, so I can really help you. And as you can see, I have thought long and hard about how to make businesses accessible, how to coach them efficiently, and it's also without loading you of work. It's really light, but it's a bit like you start working for Nata PR. You come work for the agency, and I need to train you quickly because you're a new employee and you have to generate results quickly. So this is a mix of how we train our employees and our best methods. I teach you really our best tools and best secrets to generate results. So I hope you'll be joining me. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Sometimes there are links below. So you can always look, and we have information on our Facebook page. We have 2 Instagram accounts, one for the agency, one that I just started for the Nata PR School. So we announce all kinds of things there. Hopefully my website is working as you are listening to this podcast, and you can register and get our free model. If you can, always just send me an email, Nata, Nata, at natapr.com. Super easy. Thank God all our emails are not linked to our websites. We're having issues there. So please contact us. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions and tell you also in all honesty if you're ready for this training. It's not about, selling it for selling it. I really want it to be useful, and I want you to invest money in something that's going to generate results for you. So hopefully, you'll contact me. Many of you do, actually. Every week I'm talking to a few of you, and I love discovering new products and new companies. And I hope you'll be also listening to this podcast next week. And let me know if you have any questions. If you have any subjects you'd like, any questions you have. We also have Facebook Live. So really follow our Facebook page too. You'll find out a lot of information there, and you can always pop questions there. Hopefully you really enjoy this podcast, and I hope it's a few minutes for you in your week where you take the time to think about your own business. And hopefully you'll be there and joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.